Sony has revealed which games will be added to the PS Plus Extra and Deluxe catalog on 20th of August. The first new game in the catalog will be The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Yes, my friends, it's happened. It hasn't even been 9 years since the third installment of The Witcher hit the subscription service. Honestly, I'm surprised that it only happened now, as the game has been on discount very cheaply for a very long time now. It's a shame, of course, that the game is being given away without DLC, but still, and without them, the main story campaign is very good. For me, The Witcher is still one of the best open-world action-adventure RPG because it was the one where exploring the world was really interesting because of the elaborate side story quests and the creatures Geralt met. During the playthrough, I wanted to explore every question mark on the map and complete every quest. Certainly, the combat system after 9 years has become tired and is no longer able to captivate a savvy young gamer, but you can't call it crooked or lame either. Be that as it may, The Witcher subscription giveaway is a cool giveaway. Cult of the Lamb will also be added to the catalog. It's a roguelike action game with gameplay divided into managing a cultist settlement that needs to be upgraded and expanded, as well as running through dungeons to fight heretics and collecting resources for crafting and new buildings along the way. Cult of the Lamb allows you to fully enjoy the role of cult leader. Each building you build allows you to use your loyalists as labor force in interesting ways, and the most stubborn ones can be sacrificed. The action part with dungeon races does not shine with variety, but they are quite short, and due to the fact that the duration of the game is also small, they do not have time to get bored. The next game that will be added to the extra subscription is called Wildheart, and this game was in my predictions for August, so my stick sometimes shoots too. It's kind of like Monster Hunter, but here the gameplay is more dynamic. Players need to combine different attacks and weapons, performing rapid chains of attacks, and the battle with wild animals is not reduced to a simple jamming. Monsters perform various attacks, sometimes unexpected, from which you need to either dodge or seek shelter among the objects of the environment. Also, a feature is the ability to build small structures, allowing the player to climb an inaccessible rock or build a strong wall in the way of a powerful monster attack to cause him huge damage, or climb a makeshift tower to attack enemies from above. The fourth new game of the subscription was Watch Dogs 2. Ubisoft is slowly returning its games to the subscription, and this time Watch Dogs 2 is such a game. In the second part, the protagonist is a different character, but also a hacker who joins forces with a group of activists from the DedSec organization to challenge the corrupt Bloom system. The hackers can use firearms and drones to achieve their goals, as well as hacking into just about anything with a chip, phones, computers, CCTV cameras, traffic lights, cars, etc. The next game to join extra subscription is called Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, based on the Naruto anime and manga series of the same name. This part of the fighting game is created exclusively for online, to fight in fights honed on teamwork. You will be able to control the famous characters of this universe, but there is also an opportunity to create your own hero. Also added to the subscription will be the motorbike simulator, Ride 5, and 5-part Japanese action RPG Sword Art Online. Those with deluxe and premium subscriptions and PSVR 2 helmets will also get access to Vacation Simulator. After the Work Simulator, of course, you have to play the Vacation Simulator. The whole package will be available. You can splash in the sea, get sunburnt, go to the mountains, and do other fun activities. All gameplay is peppered with a decent dose of humor. Deluxe and premium subscribers will also have access to the 3-part first-person shooter TimeSplitters. Write in the comments how you like the refill. I think it turned out pretty good. The third part of The Witcher is a great game for all time. Cult of the Lamb is a masterpiece, which will be appreciated by those who have a little tyrant inside. And the second part of Watch Dogs is also good, and it took all the best from the first part and made it even better. Though, of course, there is more stuffiness in it too. And now I'll tell you about 10 games that will leave the subscription on 20th August. The first game to leave the subscription in August is Need for Speed Unbound. Unbound failed to impress gamers with its graphics, physics, or new ideas. But unlike the same NFS Heat, it was interesting to drive for a few hours. The impression is strongly spoiled by the fact that the game has mandatory grind money, without which you just can't pump the car and get to new races. So you have to participate in the same events over and over again. Also, SpellForce 3 Reforced is leaving the subscription. This is a remaster of the game that combines real-time strategy and role-playing elements with character creation, choice of appearance, equipment, and skills. Overall, the concept is quite interesting and can become an outlet among monotonous action games and shooters. On the 20th of August, 2 parts of Destroy All Humans, Players in the role of evil aliens will have to terrorize Earthlings. They possess telekinesis, can shoot from a blaster, hypnotize people, or even turn into them. Another way of destroying pathetic people, buildings, and military equipment is to shoot them from a space-flying saucer, which is also quite fun. Trials of Mana will be leaving the PS Plus Extra catalog in August. In this Japanese RPG, the player has to control one of 6 characters, each with their own storyline, specialization, and unique set of moves. Battles here take place in real time rather than turn-based, which will please players who have a soft spot for Japanese RPGs but hate turn-based battles. The 6th game to leave the subscription was NBA 2K24 Kobe Bryant Edition. The addition of a basketball simulator to the subscription was met with great enthusiasm. And it's not surprising because in it, as in all other sports sims, almost nothing changes from year to year. And the price is high, so if you've been putting off trying the latest installment of basketball for later, it's time to stop doing that and play it at least once. Also, leaving the subscription is Midnight Fight Express. The game is a beat-em-up, where as a fighter named Malloy, you have to fight your way through the city to prevent something terrible from happening. The protagonist has a lot of close combat moves and can easily take on enemies with his bare hands and untrained feet, but he can also wield knives, axes, sledgehammers, pistols, explosives, vantius, furniture, in general, anything that comes up. You can also upgrade your skill tree to create your own unique assassin. On the 20th of August, Sea of Stars will leave the subscription. This is a turn-based role-playing game, the story of which tells about 2 children uniting the forces of the sun and the moon that must stop the evil alchemist Plotmanur. The combat system here is more diverse than in classic JRPGs. For example, pressing an action button in sync with the animation increases the damage dealt, or decreases the incoming damage. There is also a system of combo attacks of several characters at once, and a system of locks, which you need to break in order to defend yourself from formidable attacks. By the way, the battles themselves take place in the same place where the enemy was encountered without moving to a separate location, as it is usually done in JRPGs, and you can move around the area and interact with the world, as in some isometric platformer. Lost Judgment will be leaving the PS Plus Extra catalog in August. It's an action-adventure game about the investigation of a case where the accused is tried for harassment. In the courtroom, after a long session, the accused makes a strange statement about a body in an abandoned building in Yokohama, thus shocking everyone present and his lawyer. The latter turns to Detective Takayuki Yagami and asks him to get to the bottom of what's going on. The game includes stealth elements, epic missions with chases and the school story system, with new side quests with secondary characters. The 10th game to leave my subscription was Moving Out 2, and it's another game that I guessed in my prediction for August, and it's hitting the catalog as soon as it's released. Moving Out 2 is a cooperative moving simulator with realistic physics. The game offers to become a certified specialist in moving and arranging furniture. The player has to take orders for moving things, but you can execute them carefully or come up with different ways to shorten the distance or speed up loading unloading. If any of these games are to your liking, get them on your console and play them. Access to them will close on 20th of August. Subscribe to the channel and press the bell to stay up to date on which games are leaving and adding to your extra and essential subscriptions.